Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. How are we doing today? Welcome to our second week. Welcome to our second week. I'm hearing myself. Okay, so welcome to our second week for the HR brunch series. I hear that I'm echoing. Okay, welcome to our second week for the HR brunch series. If this is your first time, please drop an emoji in the chat room. And if you were here last week, welcome back. If this is your first time, please drop an emoji in the chat room. We'd like to welcome you and say thank you for joining us this week. So is there anyone coming for the first time today? If you were not here last week, oh, Gladys, really? Okay, thumbs up. All right, any other person? Is this your first time joining us? Were you here last week? Jonathan, welcome. Nazor, I hope that I pronounced that well. Nazor, welcome. Thank you very much. Jonathan, thank you very much. Okay, Day. All right. Is this not Day our speaker? Okay, Miss Sandra, thank you. Of course, you're our speaker. Thank you very much. Okay, sorry. Okay, it's Nazor, not nasal. Thank you very much for the correction. Alfred, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Okay, thank you very much. So very quickly, we would get right into today's brunch. So we are going to welcome to A4S HR Brunch Hour, where we are going to be talking about HR international standards for the next 12 to 13 weeks. So we've had week 1 where we talked about HR vocabularies. We looked at key vocabularies in HR that every HR professional needs to know. And so today we are going to be getting into some of the very important concepts and components in HR. Today is employment engagement. So since we are going to be talking about employment engagements, let's start by getting engaged today. So I want everyone on the call so far to drop an emoji to tell us how they are feeling today. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling hungry? Are you feeling cold? I'm feeling cold. I'm putting on a sweater because I'm feeling cold. It's a bit cold here in Lagos, Nigeria. So, okay, someone is feeling happy. I think that is happy, right? Okay, for those of us in Lagos, Nigeria, some of us had to trek to our workplace because of the protest that was happening. So how are we feeling today? So we are talking about employee engagement. So we have to start by being engaged ourselves. So how are we feeling today? I'm waiting for more responses before we go ahead. Victoria is feeling happy. Oh, Sandra is feeling, I don't know how to interpret this emoji, but I will take it as she's happy as well. Okay, any other person cares to show us or tell us how they are feeling before we get right into today's topic? Anyone? Okay, how are you feeling today? Nazo, how are you feeling today? Alfred, how are you feeling today? I think I know a couple of people now. And I hope that I've gotten the pronunciation. How are we feeling today? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling tired? Has it been a long week? Nazo is feeling, it's in a celebratory mode. Is celebrating. Okay, that's good. Victoria is feeling happy. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, all right. Thank you very much, everyone. So now I would be introducing our speaker for today. Please confirm that you can see my screen with a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Can we see my screen? Are we clear? Are we good to go? Are we all on board? Okay, so Samuel says yes, we can see my screen. Okay, all right, so today I will be doing a brief introduction of our speaker before she comes up. So our speaker today is Sandra Ehun. So the name in the middle, she would have to permit me. I don't want to spoil the name, so but I'm going to try Sandra. No, let me not bother. So our speaker today is Sandra Ehun. and she'll correct me if I'm wrong. So Sandra is an accomplished HR professional with over 8 years of experience driving people's strategy, organizational development, and employee engagement. She is currently the Senior Human Resource Officer at Matrix Gas Ghana Limited, where she plays a strategic role in aligning HR initiatives with business goals in this downstream oil and gas sector. Sandra has led transformative projects, including designing and facilitating performance appraisal training, developing a company-wide salary structure, launching an employee handbook, spearheading CSR initiatives that connect business with community impact. Our expertise spans talent acquisition, learning and development, performance management, employee relations, and HR compliance. She holds an MBA in HR management, and she's currently pursuing the SHRMCP certification. Sandra is passionate about learning and development, and she's not committed to building workplaces where people thrive, perform, and grow. So that is what employee engagement is actually about, creating an environment rather where employees are able to thrive, they're able to perform, and of course they're able to grow. So please, if your hands or your keyboards are not busy, please give a round of applause to our speaker today, Sandra. So please, can we clap our hands, give a round of applause, celebrate our speaker as she comes on board. Please, let's celebrate our speaker, or else I'll tell her not to speak. Okay, thank you very much, Samuel. Please let's celebrate our speaker as she takes the floor. Miss Sandra?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so happy to have you here today.
Thank you, thank you. I'm grateful to be here today. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I think the sound is a little bit low, but I want other people to confirm that they can hear you well. I think that's from my end.
Please, can you hear me? Okay, all right, sure.
Yes, we can hear you. You are loud and clear.
Okay, Miss Sandra, we can actually hear you. I wanted to confirm, would you like me to share my screen or would you be doing that?
And please share your screen.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so thank you once again for this opportunity and welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today as we explore how to transform disengagement into meaningful engagements. A theme that's like
Hello? Okay, so I think we have a bit of a network glitch. All right, Sandra, you're currently muted.
Yes, I think my network, I got disconnected.
That's fine.
Yeah, so as I was saying, our discussion is inspired by ISO 233-2620, which was established in 2022, an international guideline that sets the golden standard in shaping employee engagement strategies. All right, so let's move on. We'll start with the overview of our presentation. We are going to talk about the purpose and the scope. We are also going to talk about the principles of engagement framework and outcome, measuring engagement, HR role in engagement, culture and organizational values, effective communication, empowerment and representation, supportive leadership.
Okay, so I think Sarah's network is a little bit bad. I would reach out to her now. Please give me 1 minute.
Yes, so can you move to the next slide? So purpose and scope. Thank you. All right, so the core purpose of this framework is based on mutual benefits. It's based on mutual benefits. So it promotes workplace where both employee well-being and organizational goals reinforces each other. That is creating sustainable performance and a healthy working environment. Through that, there is engagement benefits both the organizational success and employee well-being. Also, it's applicable to all sectors. It's not only restricted to one sector, or let's say the public sector or the private sector, but it's applicable to all sectors across, being in manufacturing, being it educational, being it energy sector that I belong to, being it any sector that you find yourself in. This framework is applicable to all. It also supports sustainable work. That is, it promotes quality work, development opportunities, and long-term growth. Yes, so we can move on. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, thank you. So now to the principle of engagement. So engagement is everybody's responsibility. It doesn't only lie in the bosom of HR. Most people think HR is the sole owner of, or the sole person to ensure that there is engagement in an organization. It's actually everybody's responsibility. It starts with the leaders. It starts with leadership. It starts with the managers, the CEOs, the MDs, the COOs of the organization. Then HR also has a key role because it's one of the core functions of HR. Then employees are also responsible for engagement, and that is how we shape employee engagement. It's also embedded in policy and culture. It's embedded in policy and culture. So employee engagement should be highlighted in policies of the organization. It shouldn't be a separate entity. So employee engagement, there are so many things that because it gets employees engaged. So as we go through the slides, we would get to know more of them. It's also a two-way communication. So it's a two-way communication where a dialogue between leaders and their subordinates, managers and their direct subordinates, employees, HR and their employees. So it's a two-way communication, and it has to foster a listening culture which supports trust and involvement. Also, it protects well-being and privacy. So in the process of engaging, you have to respect the boundaries of others. Okay, whilst engaging full participation, you have to respect the boundaries because if there are some things that you are not supposed to cross. Confidentiality is one of the boundaries that you're not supposed to go beyond. You understand? Some things are supposed to be kept confidential. So you have to protect the boundaries and privacy of when during engagement activities. Can you move to the next slide? Now, as I said, engagement is everybody's responsibility, but it first starts with the culture of the organization. It starts with the culture of the organization. So the ISO framework is interconnected. It's an interconnected system. not an isolated part, or it doesn't set to isolate parts. Okay, so each element interacts and creates a cycle where employees engage in is built, employees' engagement is built, sustained, and reinforced. So how does this work practically? So the first one is the work culture and communication, which is the foundation of trust. Please, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can. Yes,
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So how the engagement framework works, it first starts with the culture of the organization, which is culture and communication, which is the foundation of trust. Culture shapes the values, the behaviors, and expectations of the organization, including the staff. Okay, and communication also ensures transparency and dialogue so that employee understands why decisions are being taken or why is behind decisions. So this builds the trust needed for other elements to work. So other elements like leadership, like learning, like recognition, it's actually built that for it to work. Then it moves to leadership. So it moves to the next cycle, which is leadership. So from culture, it moves to leadership. Leaders are the drivers of engagement. Yes, so they provide a core function in employee engagement. That is, they allocate resources, they champion engagement initiative, because if you don't have the buy-in of your leadership, you cannot do anything for employees, or you cannot do anything that involves engagement. Okay, so their action is serious. Their action is serious in the engagement framework. If leaders communicate openly and they recognize efforts and support growth, employees engage more. So if you're a leader here, if you communicate openly with your subordinates and you recognize their efforts, the little things that you say, even the words of affirmation, can go a long round to recognize their efforts. And it also supports their growth and it would let them engage more. So they'll be very proactive. They also lead to employee satisfaction, which is the next cycle. Leaders interact directly with culture, reinforcing it daily. So the culture of the organization is also it has an impact in leadership. So leaders, they interact directly with the culture. So if the organization's culture would be good, it also boils down to the leadership of the organization. Then in the same cycle, organizational learning and development, that is empowerment. When employees grow and develop, they are empowered. So learning programs must align with both both business needs and individual aspirations. All these things will lead to employee satisfaction, as you can see in the cycle. Okay, so this connects back to leadership. So for employees to be empowered, it boils down to leadership again. So who sponsors the development program? So it is the leaders that would sponsor whatever activity or whatever thing that would help employees to be engaged. It's the leaders that will support it. It's also the leadership that will communicate the opportunities that are accessible to employees. Okay, so now what are the benefits? Influence factor. So culture, leadership, as I've mentioned earlier, culture, leadership, learning, job designs and recognition shapes employee engagement. Now to job design. Job design. So job design makes employee feel meaningful at their work. Work must feel purposeful. When one is doing a task, the person should feel like he owns what he's doing. He owns the work. It shouldn't be like, well, they said I should do it, so let me just do it. No, the person has to have a purpose for what the person is doing, what the employee is doing. So a well-designed job reduces burnout and increases motivation. So job design, the job descriptions of employees should be well designed. Well designed. So for one, when I joined my organization, the job description was updated, and there are so many things that employees were doing that were not in their job description. So they were just working. So I conducted a job analysis that helped us to identify the gaps and identify the things that are needed in their job description to make it well defined. And through that, with the help of or the assistance of my colleague in our head office, we're able to design a job description for the entire organization, all this stuff. We updated the job description for them. So now they have a sense of purpose. They know what they are trying, their company is expected of them. And in that, they can be able to perform well. So this interacts with learning. Employees learn how to do their work better. When their job is well designed, they learn to do their work better. And recognition, employees feel valued for meaningful contribution. They feel valued for meaningful contribution. Now the next is outcome of engagement, improved retention, innovation, service, and satisfaction. So employee engagement improves the retention. It actually reduces turnover and increases retention. Staff are not eager to leave the organization when they feel engaged, when they feel they are recognized, when they feel they are valued. They tend to stay in the organization for a long time. And they are also innovated to do more, to give their best. Okay. And also they get to be satisfied, as we can see in the cycle. Sustainable access, which is the next point. Engagement connects directly with long-term business performance. Every organization has a vision, and the vision is a long-term plan. So if the employees are engaged, the long-term vision of the organization can be attained. All right, move to the next slide for me, please. All right. So the next slide is measuring employee engagement. How can employee engagement be measured? You can use qualitative or quantitative tools to measure employee engagement. Me, for one, when I mentioned I did a need analysis, job analysis, I've also done a need analysis. I used surveys. I actually developed a survey with the help of AI. You have to move with the new technology. You know, AI is now the order of the day. So as HR, we should embrace AI. Okay, it's not here to take our jobs, but if we're able to learn more about it, it makes us become better in what we do. So I used AI to assist me in drafting the need analysis. I use Google Forms, Microsoft Forms, sorry, to set everything together. Then I distribute it to staff using all our communication platforms. Okay. Also, focus groups also helps in measuring employee engagement. Focus group is getting people with similar ideas, similar ideologies in the same group, small groups in the organization. And through that, they can be able to bring out the ideas and the plans that they feel will help employees to get better. Okay, it can be departmental. It can also be friends. You know, we have clerks within organizations. So if all these people come together, they can bring meaningful ideas that can help both the leadership and even the HR to bring out plans that will help in employee engagement. Also, interview. You can do a one-on-one interview, and this is mostly achieved or well achieved during departmental meetings. So departmental meetings, staff are there, they can share their ideas. It can also be a one-on-one section, a line manager and a subordinate, a MD and his direct subordinates. It can be HR and the employees. I have an open door policy where employees can come to me with their concerns, and I give them a listening ear. The ones that I can do something about, I provide them with the needed help. The ones that I can't, I escalate it. Okay. Also, it ensures anonymity. Confidentiality promotes honesty, honest response, and higher participation. So when employees, some of their concerns, as I said earlier, should be kept confidential. There are some things you don't go about telling people. Employee came to you, the reason why he's not engaged is he has some marital issues. Maybe his wife is planning to divorce him and it is affecting his work. That is not a topic for discussion. You have to find means and ways to help the employee separate his is personal life with work. That's a work-life balance. Okay. All right. The next two, so apply tools, violated tools. So there are so many tools or skills that you can use in employee engagement to track vigor, dedication, and absorption. All right. So the next slide, please. So me as an HR, what is my role in shaping employee engagement? So as I said, HR plays a central role in embedding engagement across strategies, systems, and everyday practices. Employee engagement is one of the core functions of HR. So it is actually an aspect where HR do not joke with, because the more employees are engaged, the more they feel satisfied and the more they can give their best, which would help drive the organizational vision. Okay, so we have to shape people's strategy. HR leads the alignment of engagement with business goals. So as I was saying, when I did a job analysis and all that, I linked it with the organizational goal. Every organization should have a goal. Every organization, if possible, every yearly you should have a strategy session where you let the staff know about their objectives or the organization's objectives and goal, what is driving the organization that year. And through that, you would align whatever engagement activities with that goal. Because note that you are working in an organization and everything is to help the organization grow. Okay, so that is it. So build capacity, train leaders and managers to engage practice on engagement practices. Managers need training. They need training on how to engage with the employees, because some managers tend to be the one driving the staff away. You understand? They are the ones causing high turnover. Instead of causing high retention, they are rather causing high turnover. So they can be trained. They can be trained. So myself, like this during recently performance appraisal, I have to take the managers through the process of doing performance appraisal. I have to explain to them what is expected of them. There are do's and don'ts, lines that they shouldn't cross. For some line managers, for some managers, they are closed, they are not opened. So they don't listen to the concerns of staff. What they have in mind is what they are doing. So I have to train them on how to give their best and what to do and not to do during the appraisal process. So leaders and managers, they need to be trained in the engagement processes. That would help the organization because they have a great input in ensuring that the employees or the organization is well engaged. So also you track engagement matrix. You track engagement matrix. So HR owns data collection and action planning. So you should always have records of your engagement activities. Learning and development is one of the engagement activities. You should have records. I have a training plan in a calendar format, and I use color codings to track my training plan. So you should also have a plan. You shouldn't just get up and, oh, they said we should engage. So today we are going here, tomorrow we are doing this. No, you should have a proper plan. That's what leads and directs you to what you are doing. Okay, so it is very important to keep. I use Excel to track my daily training plans or my daily employee engagement activities. Employee engagement is not only training, it boils down to performance appraisal, the sections, and hours stands twice a year. So all these things, I have reports, I have plans for it, when it will be done, when we are completing, all the steps is properly planned. There's an agenda to it. So, and I keep records of everything that I do. Okay. Champion inclusion and transparency. HR policies must reflect fairness and employee voice. It shouldn't just be about the organization. Employees should have a voice in the HR policy, which is the handbook, which is also the Bible of the organization, because that's what shapes the way of life or the way staff are supposed to behave. Okay, so it shouldn't be that, oh, you only wait when employees do something, that's when you refer to them that, hey, you did this and you have breached the policy. So because of this, there's a sanction. No. Employees should have a voice in it, where there's an open hearing. When there's even a disciplinary issue, they have an open, they have an open hearing. They can even bring their peer if it has to is that critical that they have to go into a disciplinary committee. They have to get a representative so that they know that they have backing. Do you get it? So HR policies must reflect fairness and employee voice. Please, can you move on? Please, I hope you are here. Hello.
Yes, I am.
I hope people can hear me.
Yes,
Okay. Yes, please.
I can hear you loud
Okay,
and
sure.
clear.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So now on culture and organizational value. I think when I was explaining the cycle, I touched on culture. So culture, the way of life, the environment of the organization is very important in shaping employee engagement. So involve employees in defining values. What are your core values of the organization? You have to involve the employees. You understand? Employees tend to forget their values. So you have to do a refresher training on the policies, on the values, the mission, the vision, so that the employees will always be updated. Okay, so this is what is expected of me. I have to have integrity. I have to be loyal to the organization. I have to be professional in my line of duty. Okay, it is employee centric. Okay, I have to be employee centric. I have to think about the customers. Do you get it? So employees should be involved in defining the values. It shouldn't just be something that is written, that is there, pasted on the wall. No, employees should be involved. Yeah, so when values reflect life experiences, engagement rises. Okay, so the value shouldn't be, it should reflect like integrity, it reflects life experiences. Loyalty, professionalism, being customer centric, being employee centric. It all expresses or reflects the life experiences of an employee, even outside work and inside work. Do you understand? Link values to goals. Show how culture drives results, not just behavior. So most of the time, our culture and organization is just steered towards the way employees should behave. So you're not supposed to send an email in this format. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to go here. You're not supposed to do this. But let the culture drive results. Okay, because if it's a good culture which is conducive, staff would always be satisfied and they'll be giving their best. Employee organizational growth can only happen when staff is satisfied. Do you understand? So staff needs to be satisfied. The culture needs to drive results. It shouldn't just be a culture where it is just discipline, discipline, discipline. It is not opened. Staff can't talk. Staff can't share the ideas. No, it should be one that is strategic, that can drive results and bring about the organizational success. Okay, you have to also promote purpose and belonging. Employees want to feel their work matters. So employees, they always want to feel that whatever they are doing, it matters. So we have to also, as I mentioned earlier, recognition. Recognition can be many forms. I will get there. It's also part of the presentation. But let employees feel that whatever they are doing matters. The small things that you can say, oh, you are doing well, keep it up. Oh, this one you can do better. But it's not far from what you've done. You've done extremely well. Like let them feel that what they are doing is our work matters. Do you get it? Yeah. So access and improve continuously. Use feedback to align practices with stated values. So me for one, I like feedback, and my employees also are always bringing me feedback, even if something HR does something that they feel it's over the board, they can come to me, they give me the feedback, I work on it. That's the same way I also give feedback to our employees. My leadership always give feedback to employees. We have monthly meetings where everybody shares their ideas. If something is not going right, we tell them and all that. And this improves the culture and makes everything continuous. Like it's not static. They understand, so that employees know that their voice matters. Or it's like there is feedback whenever they do something, they are acknowledged, they are recognized. It's also important in culture and organizational value. The next is effective communication. Effective communication. So communication is supposed to be clear and also encourage open communication in the organization. Here's the next slide. I've moved on. Okay, thank you. So effective communication. So communication must be clear and it also has to be open to ensure alignment, inclusion, and mutual understanding. So when you are communicating with staff, you shouldn't be vague. You should be clear. State what you are supposed to state, but also add emotional intelligence. Being clear doesn't mean you should say things that would let the employee go feeling very bad. Probably the person is not performing. The person is on PIP, that's performance improvement plan, and you feel the person can do better. That doesn't mean you should just say it blank to the person's face that you are a very poor performer. No, find a nice way to communicate, but it has to be open and it has to be clear. This will ensure alignment, inclusion, and mutual understanding. Okay, so communication is always a two-way channel between, as I've mentioned this earlier, between the leaders and the subordinates, between employees, between HR and the employees, and through this two-way communication, there is feedback section. There's feedback session. So during the recently ended of performance appraisal that we conducted, as I mentioned, employees had a chance to have a dialogue with the line managers to understand what the line managers expect of them. If the line managers rated them lower than what is expected, the line managers give them feedback why they rated them. And if employee also have an objection, they stated it. And through that, there was a mutual understanding and the right was done. So feedback is very important. Also, updates the employees on plans and activities in the organization. Don't just show up and say, oh, today we are doing this. Let them be updated. If you have communication channel, it can be through emails, it can be through WhatsApp, or if you have any HRIS system where you can communicate with the people, update them regularly about your plans. If it's training plans for them, update them. If it is development plans for them, update them. If you have any bonuses for them, let them know. You understand? And also provide listening section to your employees, which I have mentioned over and over here, and all these builds connection. Okay, the next is train managers to communicate. I have mentioned this earlier. So empower leaders to be clear, consistent, supportive. So leaders, they need to also undergo communication training because some leaders do not know how to communicate. They are supposed to empower people, but they end up demotivating them. They end up bringing people's spirits, like damping people's spirits. So they have to also go through the different phases of communication, how they are supposed to communicate, varying of their tone. Their communication is verbal and non-verbal. So your gestures, your mood, your facial expression, all talks about communication. So managers need to undergo all this training. So empower leaders to be clear, consistent, and supportive. All right, link messages to values and strategy. Ensure consistency across internal and external communication. It should be consistent. It shouldn't be one way of like 3 months you've communicated, the staff don't know, you wait after 5 months or at the end of the year, that's when there is updates for the people. No, your messages should link to the values and strategy. What are the strategy? What is driving the organization this year? What are the plans for the organization this year? It has to be consistent, both internally and external. Even the way you communicate with external clients. HR, my clients are mostly employees, but we have people that have clients outside. We have the procurement team that deals with vendors. We have the sales team that deals with the external clients. So all these people, their communication has to be consistent. It has to have their values in it. When they are communicating, are they being loyal? Or they are talking to people and saying bad things about the organization? That's they not being loyal. So all these things have to drive their communication. Okay. Celebrate inclusion, reinforce diversity. Everybody should be included. males, females, you shouldn't be selective. Or, okay, because your organization is a Christian-centric organization, you belittle the Muslims, or you don't give the voices to the Muslims or the other religious people in the organization. Or because the organization is male-dominated, you shut down the females, like they don't have a say. No. Reinforce diversity, inclusion, and belonging in all communication. Don't sideline some people. Everybody should be included. Don't leave the employees out that they don't matter. They don't drive, or they don't provide developmental plans and activities for the organization, so their voice doesn't matter. You wouldn't involve them in communication. No, everybody is important. Everybody needs to drive the communication, which will lead to proper engagement. The next, empowerment and representation. Enable autonomy. Let employees shape how they work within safe and agreed boundaries. So at our place, we leave employees to do their best, like work. All we need is results. Okay, so whatever task that you've been given, whatever is in your job description, whatever achievement that you want to achieve, just go about and do it. Any way that you will do it to drive the end result. That's what we look out for. The boundaries that you are not supposed to cross, they are aware. And because I'm in the oil and gas sector, safety is very paramount. Because if, God forbid, today the tankers or the farm tank, the gases gets exploded, we are all dead. So safety is very core to whatever we do. Okay, so we let employees shape how they work in a safe environment. So HSC is always involved. They give weekly knowledge sharing section with the employees to let them know. HR also comes in, admin comes in, the finance manager comes in, just to let the employees know the boundaries they can't cross, and also allow them to do their work. Okay, support safe self-directed growth, offer learning. Some organizations don't offer learning to the staff. How would they grow if they don't know? Everybody has to. If you know things, that's how you grow. That's how you improve. As I mentioned earlier, HR should adapt AI. If the HR doesn't learn the AI, how can HR know that the AI will be beneficial to him or her? So it's the same thing. If employees don't understand how it is to be safe in the organization, how can they act on safety measures? So we have to offer learning opportunities to the employees. Mentorship. You have to, if you can pair employees with direct learning, if for one, our head office is in Nigeria. So you can pair an employee with in the finance department with someone in the finance department in Nigeria to mentor the person, show the person what to do, guide the person. Sometimes we need to mentor people on how to send emails. We need to mentor them on how to communicate, how to behave, how to dress. All these things, you need mentorship to drive all these. You may not be able to do it solely as an HR for the entire organization, but if the employee or the staff have a mentor that they look up to, it makes it more easier to grow. Okay. Also, internal mobility opportunities. Respect employee voice. Engage with unions or reps meaningful in change or planning. I don't have a union in my organization, but if you have a union in the organization, you have to engage them. If you have plans, you have to let the union know about it. They will get the buy-ins of the people under them. Because if you don't involve them, you bring out any plans, they can easily boycott it. They can reject it because union always have a voice. Yes. And also there are reps in every organization, like small cliques in the organization. That's our reps. So you can also involve them and respect their opinions, get to know them, get to understand what the employees expect. Do you get it? And in change or developmental plans, or when you are making any plans. So when I joined my organization, I noticed, oh, there are some people that have voices. So I had one-on-one with them, try to understand what they do. They came to my office, oh, HR, you have come. This and this and this and this and this and this and this. I give them listening ear. I respected their opinions, and the ones that I can escalate to managers on how to build about it. We did it. One of them was performance appraisal because it wasn't structured. So through that, we got trainings for all staff, including line managers, and we got it enrolled. Do you understand? Yes. So the last is use feedback forums. So create structured ways for employees to contribute ideas and raise concerns. You should have a forum where employees can raise concerns. It can be suggestion boxes. It can be through a medium. If you have an HRIS, there is a medium where employees can send messages directly to their supervisors or even the HR. Use those mediums to get feedback from the employees. Or if you don't get feedback, you'll be working blind. You may think, oh, what you are doing is satisfying the employee, but to your surprise, it's actually demotivating them or it's not helping them at all. So that is it for empowerment and representation. Now, to supportive leadership, leaders must support because, as I said, they play or they are the drivers of employee engagement. So make engagement a leadership priority. It's the topmost priority of every leader because they drive employee engagement. So include engagement in leader goals and expectations. So when you are planning for the year, you should include engagements in it. It shouldn't be just we want to achieve 500 or 5,000 sales or 5,000 Ghana cedis or 5 million Ghana cedis sales in every quarter. And that's all. There's nothing for employees. Okay, there's no developmental plan. There's no training. There is no recognition or compensation or anything. No, include engagements in leadership goals and expectations. So set plans. Okay, if a staff doesn't undergo 3 trainings in a year, it will affect their performance. Yes, that is you engaging them, thinking about their development. Okay, provide tools and developments. That is, equip managers to lead with empathy, clarity, and purpose. Some managers do not have empathy. So I do not have any feelings. They say things as they want to say. And I've had a colleague like that. Yeah, hello. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So provide tools and development. Equip managers to lead with empathy. As I said, some managers do not have feelings. I've had a colleague like that. He was the senior finance officer in a company I have worked in. He didn't have empathy. When salaries delay, the way he will communicate with the staff, it's very discouraging. Oh, I won't pay you. It's like he has the right to pay or not pay. And when staff comes complaining, oh, if this allowance you are supposed to get, we've not gotten. The way he will communicate to the staff, they'll end up fighting him. He doesn't care. All these things doesn't drive development. Okay, so you have to equip managers to lead with empathy. I have to always talk to him that the way he communicates with staff is not good. The other team leads also step in that he has to develop his empathy. He has to have feelings. And he has to have little emotions towards the employees because you don't say things like that. The person is expecting salaries to go and pay his child school fees, and you are telling the person that the person is expecting it on Friday. The salaries will come, let's say Tuesday. Find a nice way to say it. You just say it's big like that. I won't pay you. Or I'll release your salary on Tuesday. Come on, that's is very discouraging. So we have to equip the managers to lead with empathy, clarity, and purpose. They have to have a purpose for which they are leading. Some managers are first-time leaders. It's their first time they are leading an organization. It's their first time of holding such positions. So they need all these tools to develop. Also, foster open dialogue. Leaders should regularly invite, act on, and respond to feedback. So we always encourage that in our organization. We have departmental meetings, as I mentioned earlier, so that at least they listen, they respond to the feedback of the organization, of the employees, sorry. They also have an open door where you can come to their office if you have any concerns. If they are also doing something that you don't like, you can also reach out. Okay. We also have a 360. You can also practice the 360 performance cycle. So 360 where everybody gives an input. Okay. All right. The next is resource engagement. Dedicate time and budget for engagement activities. As you are doing, some of you are already doing your next year budget. Include engagement activities in your budget. It shouldn't be HR, because engagement is key to us. You already included. Our HSC team also includes trainings in their budgets, because they are supposed to make sure that the employees are safe. So safety measures, first aid training, firefighting training, all these things they include it in their budget. We also include other motivations. When for example, as during our World Health Organization, we had a very nice section where we did it takes two. So two people, you do the pick, you pick and act, and through that, a lot of people got awards and all that. So all these are resources that we allocated to our budget. So when we are doing it, it is not outside the budget. So management cannot prevent us from taking or embarking on such acts. Okay, because we already have it in the budget. So make sure that you dedicate your budget is aligned with engagement. So you have elements of engagement activities in your budget. So we are almost through with our presentation. We'll move to the next one, which is organizational learning. That is, continuous learning helps employees grow, stay motivated, and contribute to long-term success. So I've already mentioned it earlier. So start with great onboarding. The first day the employee step foot in the organization should be the first start for learning opportunity. Let the person feel that he has actually come to an organization that is good, that encourages growth, that encourages inclusion. It first has to start with your orientation plan. You shouldn't just let the person sit there and you just be reading. You should have a slide or presentation model for your orientation plan that states your mission, your vision, your core values, what you do in the organization, even the pictures of the various managers and teams, so that when they see someone person, they would know what the person, or they will know who this is. You understand? So set expectations and build connection from day one. Identify learning needs. I mentioned I did a need analysis to identify the needs or the gaps that we need, the employees needs to improve on. So with that, performance appraisal was conducted, which I mentioned earlier. So consult teams and leaders to shape relevant developmental programs. So aside the need analysis that I did, I had a one-on-one section with various line managers. I even had to travel to the head office in Nigeria for an onboarding section to understand the expectations and all that. So when I got there, they also told me what they are expecting, what they think the organization lack, what they think the employees need. And all these things helped me in developing training programs for them. Okay, support inclusion access, make learning opportunities visible and accessible to all. Learning opportunities, when I get opportunity like free webinars and all that, I share it on our platform. I make sure that everybody joins and I take attendance. Even if it is not me organizing it, it's outside, I make sure that they join because we have to learn. That's how we will grow as an organization and as employees. As part of their career development plan, they are supposed to grow themselves. Okay, so I make it open and accessible, which helps. Also measure and evolve. Use feedback and evaluation to improve learning. Use feedback and organizations to improve. Thank you very much for the comment. To improve learning design. Okay, so the next, as I mentioned, we are almost through. We are almost through. So job design and health and work-life balance. After COVID-19, we started hearing work-life balance. We started hearing remote work. It wasn't something that was in Ghanaian culture. I don't know about Nigeria, but Ghanaian culture, remote work was not really common. Even some organizations were doing it, mostly those who work in international organizations. But typical Ghanaian office, it was the normal traditional way of coming to work Monday to Friday, sit in the office. Do you understand? But after COVID opened their eyes to so many opportunities that can help employees have work-life balance. So how jobs are designed, so that the job description of staff and how the workplace is managed directly impacts engagement and well-being. The employee job description, the job content, the competency framework, how it is designed can help shape the well-being of the employee in the organization and out of the organization. Also, so first one, craft meaningful roles. Let employees shape their tasks and work process where possible. Where possible, provide flexible, safe environments. So you can consider hybrid options, which is 3 days in the office, 2 days working at home. That's a hybrid option. So the employees get to bond with their family. It gets to bond with their family, then also at work, they produce or they provide their best. Also, you can track their work output at home. You can use tracking methods. Some people can track their emails that are sent. They have inbuilt trackers and all that. If you want to track that the employee is really delivering, you can track it and also set targets for them. By 5 p.m., I should get your report for the day. If you are working remotely, I should get what you did, your tasks for the day, your action plan, what you have achieved, and all that. So with that, it helps in flexibilities and all that. Mental health. Mental health was a very silent topic, but now it is coming up. A lot of things or a lot of problems in the organization or the employees' performance or output is mostly tied to mental health. So I would advise you to have a mental health section where you can invite an outsourced person to come and take them through what mental health is. You can also get a psychologist in your organization. Some things employees cannot share it with you. Some things are beyond HR. Even though most of the time HR does everything, but some things are beyond HR. They need a psychologist. So you can employ a psychologist to help with whatever the employees, the emotions, the whatever psychological problems that they are having, they can have solutions to it. Also, physical safety. Make sure that the employees have the right tools to work. They have, if they need a laptop, they have a laptop, they have the right environment. You can see a lot of flowers and all that. And you can embed all these things in the office, in the workplace. That will make them feel safe. Okay. So promote work-life balance, ensure realistic workload and flexible time when feasible. So workload should be realistic. Okay, don't give them tasks that is beyond them. You know that this target they won't be able to achieve it, but you are giving it to them. Why you are setting them to fail? No, let the workload be realistic so that it can promote work-life balance. It shouldn't be that because you always want them to work, even when they have closed and they are in the house, you are still sending them emails and they'll come to work and you'll be expecting that weekend, what did you do for work? Come and tell me, give me updates of what you did during the weekend. Come on, weekend is rest day and family day. Let them rest when it's weekend. And when they come to work, they can provide or produce their best. Or else you are looking at high turnover. And I don't think anybody wants a high turnover in the organization. Monitor risk and burnout. Use the okay, so we are almost done. There's the last but one slide, compensation and recognition. Transparent compensation systems. Fairness, so compensation must be transparent, okay? So you have to ensure that there is fairness and clarity to build trust and reduce dissatisfaction. Employees on the same skill and the same job level, and one is getting more paid than the other one will feel like he's not valued. Do you understand? So it has to be fair. It has to cut across. If you have overtime policy and it's to people that are not in managerial positions or leaders positions, it should cut across. You shouldn't sideline some people. Employee involvement includes staff inputs in how rewards and incentives are structured. Recognize efforts and impact. Use both verbal awards and everyday appreciation. I've mentioned this over and over again. Ensure peer recognition. Foster a culture of gratitude and collaboration, which I've also mentioned. So now the final takeaway is engagement brings about connection, contribution, and care. And all these things need leadership support. Okay. And the framework that we are using, that's the ISO 23326, offers a roadmap for sustainable pay practice. Every function in HR, from learning to compensation, can strengthen engagement. Success requires leadership support, employees' voice, and continuous empowerment. Empowered, engaged employees are your organization's greatest assets. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. That was quite a session. Thank you very much, Ms. Sandra. Thank you so much. Please, are we here? Please, can we give her a round of applause? Please, she has taken us through a couple and actually a lot of things that I think that are very valuable. So please give Ms. Sandra a round of applause for that session. Thank you very much, Ms. Sandra. We appreciate the knowledge that you have shared today, I particularly. So I'm going to be sharing my key takeaway before we call this or before we bring this to a close. And please share your key takeaways on the group chat. I'll be reading a couple of them, as many as I can see. Okay, so my key takeaway was particularly with regards to your experience when you shared the fact that you had to redesign some jobs just because of how times are evolving. And that goes to letting us know that part of employee engagement, usually when we hear employee engagement, some people, all they hear is team bonding. But actually, employee engagement is not just team bonding, it's not just let's go for a vacation or a vacation. Employee engagement is the fact that you're able to have empowered employees and you are concerned about their growth. So the fact that she shared her experience with the fact with having job designs, job descriptions updated and in alignment with the evolving times is something that I am going to personally take away as an HR professional, because I want to be able to see that this is where the times are evolving to, and this is where, okay, you're a digital marketer, this is how your career path should actually go. It also helps my employees grow, and of course, it gives them a sense of fulfillment. So thank you again, Ms. Sandra. Thank you very much. I was expecting people to share their key takeaways. Please, we'd love to hear. It's just one person that clapped. Please, we'd love to hear if you have your key takeaways or if there's any question, please do that. In the meantime, I am going to, I'm still expecting the questions, please. I'm going to be introducing what we're going to be looking at next week. We're going to be looking at the ISO 30406, and that is what we call sustainable employability. So it is one thing to keep your employees engaged, but how do you ensure that your employability is one that is sustainable? How do you ensure that you are preparing people and businesses for the future? Because it's not just ensuring, we're not talking about retention now, we're talking about the fact that the business on its own, including the people, are going to be able to face and weather the storms that are coming or that are here, the changes. So we're going to be looking at adaptability and resilience, which has been marked as one of the very key soft skills that every individual needs. So we are going to be looking at that next week, come Wednesday, 3rd of September. And we're going to be having the lead HR from Leap Africa speak to us on that. So, okay, Victoria said, my key takeaway is we should make sure our core values connect to company goals. Thank you very much, Victoria. Our core values has to connect to company goals. You have to ensure that they are not just something we picked up from somewhere. they're helping the business move forward and ensuring organization productivity. Thank you very much, Victoria. So that was the only key takeaway we got, but because time is fast spent, we'll have to bring this to a close. I want to thank everyone that made it to today's session. Please fill out the attendance form if you are yet to. Please, it is very important. We're going to be using it for our certificate. So please fill out the attendance form before you leave the call. Thank you once again, Miss Sandra. Thank you everyone that joined the call. We will be back same time, same place with the same link next week, Wednesday. Okay, someone said they can't see the link, so I'm just going to copy and put it back. So Precious is going to do that. So we're going to be having the same. Please ensure you fill the link. She's going to put it on the chat before we go. So Precious, please. I think okay. So I have put the link again. So please click on the link and fill out the attendance form. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. And of course, have a lovely week. Thank you very much again, Miss Sandra. Thank you.